Good morning. Well, it is still morning. It's 30 minutes later than my normal Stampin' Thursday. Let's see, and it's 10:30 right now. So I'm Stampindede, Deanna Blackman. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I do a Stampin' Thursday, a Facebook Live every Thursday. And the third Thursday of the month is mystery stamping, and I love that. I love doing it. I hope you do too. So I had a doctor's appointment this morning, and I wasn't sure if it would run long or short. And as it turned out, I could have done the 10 o'clock. But anyway, I didn't know. So I wanted to be sure that we were able to do this. Hi, Kay. I see Kay is watching. So just a couple of things. Next Thursday, I'm going to show you and demonstrate these cute little treat packets that I'm making for my grandkids. And I'm going to offer you a free download, and you'll see when you see them next week, you'll understand that. But so be sure and tune in. I know it's just a couple of days before Christmas, but you would still have time to do these. They're so easy to do, but they're fun. Our kids aren't coming till the 28th, so I'm not under the pressure that some of you are under, trying to get ready by Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. So anyway, let's get on to the mystery stamping. Let me switch the camera over, and we're going to get it all set up and ready to go. Here we go. Turn it around. I never can find the turnaround. Let's see, where is it? It's usually hidden somewhere. There it is. Oh, there. All right. And I think we are ready to go. Okay. So I'm going to get my computer screen up so I can actually see what's going on. There we are. All right, I may bring this down just a little bit. Maybe that'll help to. So this is clue 1. For those who are not familiar with mystery stamping, I post clue 1 a day or two before the mystery stamping time so that you can gather up the supplies that you need to make this mystery card along with me. So these are the supplies that you need. You need a card base, which is your typical side, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.5. And you want your card base and the other cardstock that we use to coordinate with whatever DSP, designer series paper, that you have chosen. So then you need an inside strip, same cardstock, that's 8.5 by 1. And you're going to score this at 2 1/8, 4 1/4, and 6 3/8. Then you need three pieces of a different cardstock that also coordinates with your designer series paper, and these are all 4 by 5 1/4. Now, one of them you're going to put on the front of your card, and if you want to cut that piece with another with a die cut, just to give it a little bit fancier look, you can do that. I did with the color and contour dies. But you need three panels of a different cardstock, 4 by 5 1/4. Then you're going to need 4 little squares, 1 3/4 inch squares. And that will be the same cardstock as the base. And then you're going to need 3 designer series paper squares at 1.5 inch. And these can all be different. They can all be the same, whatever you want, but they should coordinate. Then you're going to need 1 basic white square that's 1.5 inches. And that's going to be for your sentiment. So it'll need to be a small sentiment. And then if you want a small image, either cut from your DSP or die cut or fussy cut, a coordinating image, just a small little image that coordinates with your designer series paper. And then you're going to need designer series paper for your front panel, and it will need to be smaller than your 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of cardstock, and you can cut it with a pretty label, a pretty die, or you can just leave it square, but it will fit inside, be bordered by your cardstock on the front. Then you're going to need a basic white label for your front sentiment if you want one, and you can cut that with a label die or with your trimmer, but it'll be on the front. And then any embellishments that you might want to add, gems or ribbon. So, I don't know. Let's see. Kay, are you doing this with us? Did you get your stuff gathered up? I hope you did. It is a fun little card. And easy. It's actually easy. All right. I guess maybe not. Maybe you're not able to do that yet. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, well, that's all right. You can come back to it when you get a little more movement in your hand. All right, here we go. Here's clue 2. Make sure you can see it. Clue 2. Adhere 2 of your 4 by 5 1/4 inch pieces of cardstock to the inside of the card base. So you're just going to attach 2 of the pieces of 4 by 5 1/4 inch cardstock to the inside of the card base. So your card base is one color. These 2 are a different color, all coordinating with your designer series paper. All right, that shouldn't be too hard. You're just going to attach those, and then we're going to do clue 3. I'm just going to move these over like this, so I've got them already positioned. Clue 3. Now you're going to adhere the 3 designer series paper 1.5 inch squares to the 1 3/4 inch cardstock squares. So you've got 3 1.5 inch designer series paper squares, and you're going to attach those to 3 of the 1 3/4 inch cardstock squares. I'll give you just a minute. And I know that you can always pause and go back. And Kay, if you're not doing it with us, which I'm sure you're not, then you can go back later and watch it. All right. Clue 4. Now, you're going to stamp that little sentiment for the inside if you want one. You don't have to have one on the inside, but if you want one on the inside, you're going to stamp it toward the bottom of the 1.5 inch basic white square. So stamp it more toward the bottom. And sometimes, you know, it's nice to just say hugs to you or sending love or or well wishes or friend, just to put a little something on the inside. All right. So you've got that stamped. Clue 5. Adhere the basic white square, your little sentiment square, to the remaining 1 3/4 inch cardstock square. So now you've used all 4 pieces of your 1 3/4 inch cardstock. 3 of them have designer series paper attached, and the 4th one has your little sentiment piece attached. I didn't think you'd be able to do it. I didn't think you would, Kay. But I'm glad you're watching, and you'll love this. You will. All right. Now, if you have a little small image, either cut from your DSP or from another image that you've cut out, you can attach this image to the basic white piece above the sentiment, and it can hang over the top of the square. So you're just going to add that little bit of interest to your little sentiment square. And if you didn't do a sentiment, then just put it in that square. But it's okay if it hangs over the top. All right. I'm going to keep going. If someone else is watching this with us and doing it, then be sure and comment so that I don't go too fast. But if you're watching it on the replay, and I hope you do, then you can always pause it. All right, clue 7. Now, you're going to take the small inside cardstock strip, and you're going to fold it on the score lines, folding a W, forming a W. So here's the piece. This is what you're going to do. You have 3 score lines, so you're going to fold it into a W. The peak is at the top in the middle. Okay? That's an easy step. Now you're going to adhere this strip, putting adhesive only on this piece and this piece to the inside of the card in the center, lined up with each edge. So I'm going to show you. Here's your card base. So you're going to put adhesive on this piece and on this piece, and you want to line it up with the edge of the card. So that's how you're going to do it. And when it closes, it's going to close like that. All right. I wanted to go ahead and show you this because it can be confusing. All right. So your 2 little end pieces will be the only parts glued down. All right. Now you're going to position your squares, your little 1 3/4 inch squares, along the strip in whatever order you want, 1 per quarter. So this is your strip. You'll put 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. 1 per quarter. Then with a line of adhesive horizontally across the center of the back of the square, attach it to the folded strip. So you don't want your adhesive to hang over, because then you'll attach the whole thing to the card base, and you don't want that. You just a line of adhesive across the center of the square and attach it to the folded strip. Be careful not to adhere the center 2 squares to the card base, only to the strip. So this one is going to be glued down. It's not going to matter. This one's going to be glued down. It's not going to matter. But these two, you only want to put it across the back of the little square so that it'll attach here and here. It's getting cute already, isn't it? Now, attach or adhere the remaining 4 by 5 1/4 cardstock to the front of the card base. Well, you may or may not have cut this with a pretty die, but attach it to the front of the card base. This is clue 10. We're almost done. Clue 11. Now, adhere the DSP that you cut to the front. This is the DSP that you cut just a little smaller than the 4 by 5 1/4. Adhere it to the front on top of your cardstock. Clue 12. Stamp a sentiment for the front onto your basic white label. Stamp a sentiment for the front of your card onto your basic white piece. If you don't have a label cutter or a punch, a label die or a punch, just trim it to the size you want it to be and stamp a sentiment on it. Okay, then adhere that label to the front as desired. You can put it anywhere you want on the front. Adhere it. I don't recommend you use dimensional. Well, no, I think I did. And it makes it thick because of the inside of your card, but I think I did use dimensionals on mine. So your choice on that. If you don't want it to be questionably thick for mailing, then don't put dimensionals on your label. Okay, clue 14. Add ribbon, gems, etc. as desired. All right. So, are you ready to see the card? This super cute card? All right. Here it is. Now, mine says, to a friend that makes me smile. I did use one jewel right up here in the corner. I did put ribbon under my label and then tied a bow. And I used the contour dies. I love those dies. So I used them. And for this one, I think I used one of the Hippo and Friends dies for this label. All right. This is the part, though, that is so cool. Here it is. Isn't that cool? I love it. I think it is so pretty. So pretty. So simple, and yet so pretty. So I put sending hugs on the inside, and I just cut out 2 of the expressions in ink. I used the expressions in ink paper on the front and on the inside panels. I love that paper. Love it. And then I fussy cut 2 of the little flowers. That's it. I hope you enjoy. Kay, I hope you're able to make it soon. And you know, it's great for any occasion. You can turn it into a male card, masculine card. You can turn it into a kid's card. It's so flexible and so simple. So simple. All right, that's it. Well, I hope, let's see, I think I'll leave this sitting out. I hope that those of you who are watching the replay, I hope you have enjoyed this mystery stamping event, and I hope you will use this design to make a card, because it really does. I think anybody would just love getting this. It's so unique. All right. Well, I would wish you a Merry Christmas, except that I will see you next Thursday. And I have a really fun treat container to show you next week, and a download that you can use along with that. So, Kay, I'm really thrilled that you're on here, and I hope that you are able to make this card really soon. I hope you're beginning to get some more use out of the fingers on your left hand, and yeah, it was so good to get to see you the other day. All right, God bless you, and I will see you next Thursday. Thank you for watching. Get my thing.